Okay, today we're going to be doing the Candy Crush Water Erosion Lab. Water changes the surface of the earth by moving sediments from one place to another. Rocks are broken down into sediments by weathering. Then water can pick up these sediments and move them. This is called erosion. Erosion can happen quickly, as in floods, or slowly with rivers and streams. So our question today is, how does the force of water affect the amount of erosion on Earth's rocky surface? So for our hypothesis, we need to decide if we think that quick erosion or slow erosion has the greatest effect on the Earth's surface. We're going to do a lab today that is going to measure erosion on a skittle again, and we will use water on a skittle, and we will erode it fast and we will erode it slow and see which one has the greatest effect on the candy. So for my hypothesis, I am going to guess that if the earth is eroded by water quickly, then more of the earth will be eroded. So I am guessing that our quick erosion will have a greater effect on the skittle than slow erosion. So our materials that we are going to be using today, we are going to use 2 skittles. We have a paper plates. We're going to use, this is called a pipette, and it is like a little suction tool that sucks water into it. So we are going to need a pipette, water, and we are going to use a timer today to time both of our experiments. So for our procedure, what we are going to do is on this plate, we are going to document the results of fast droplets versus slow droplets of water. So what we are going to do is we're going to fill this pipette up with water. And then I'm just going to drop droplets of water on here. For the fast, I am going to drop droplets every 5 seconds for 1 minute. And for the slow, I'm going to drop droplets every 15 seconds per minute and then document the results. So the first one that we have here is the fast droplets, and this is going to be every 5 seconds. And when I do the slow, I'm going to drop droplets every 15 seconds. So we're going to get our timer ready. We're going to time for 1 minute. Make sure my pipette is all filled with water. And I'm going to drop droplets of water every 5 seconds for a minute. Ready, go. 1, 2, there's 5 seconds, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and that's it. So that was my 1 minute. And now I'm going to document the results. So it looks like here's my Skittle. I have a whole little section here where it kind of has turned white. So I'm going to color in the rest of it to kind of show. And then I have this whole little pool here around it of red, and that is my sediment that has run off and eroded off the Skittle. So I'm gonna put red water. This is where it's white. And it looks like that's about all I can see. Now I'm going to do 5. I'm going to do it again. Every 5 seconds, load up my water and start. Oh, that was my 1 drop. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Okay, that was my 2nd minute. Now I'm going to document my results. Here's my Skittle, and now I have an even bigger area of white. And it's kind of dark red, but then it gets sort of light red, like some is wearing off close to those edges. And then I have a bigger pool of red water. And this part is fading. And the white part is actually, it looks like it's sort of even dipping down right there. All right, time to do my 3rd minute, which is the last one for the fast droplets. All right, ready, start. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. All right, so this is my final one. I'm going to document what that looks like. I just have a few pieces of red left. Some light red, dark red, a little bit more light red, a little piece of dark red there, and a little dot. And it looks like my pool is even starting to run off in both directions. And the red water is actually the sediment washing away from the Skittle. All that is white. All right, so that was a lot of erosion that happened. I'm going to move that plate out of the way and get my new Skittle. And now we're going to test out the slow droplets and see if the slow erosion has a different effect. We're going to put droplets on this every 15 seconds. So I'm gonna get my pipette all filled up and ready to go. Start my timer, and every 15 seconds I will put a drop. 15. 30. 45. 60. So that was the first set. Now I need to record those results. Here's my Skittle, and all of this is real dark. It looks like we just have a little section that is sort of lighter red, but the rest is all very dark. And then underneath there's just a little bit of pool of red water. But there's no white yet. Okay, now it's time to do the second minute. Get my pipette ready. Start every 15 seconds. 15. 30. 45. 60. All right, so after minute 2, it looks like I do finally have a little bit of white there. Kind of looks like that is the white, and then we have some lighter color over here, and then the rest is pretty dark. So it's looking like the slow process is still eroding, but maybe not quite as fast, but we'll have to see with the next minute. That's the red water. There's a little bit of stuff there. We have some white. Okay. And our final minute, every 15 seconds for the slow droplets. 15. 30. So even if the droplets aren't flowing over it fast, it is sitting on top of it and still dissolving some of that material, just like water would on top of rocks. 45. and 60. Okay, that was my final one. Let's take a look at it. We have some red over here. We still have a lot of dark red here. A little bit of light there. And we do have definitely this river here of white that's being worn away. And we also have this sediment trail in the red water that looks like it's starting to flow away also. So now it wants us to compare the fast droplets and the slow droplets. And if we look at those two, definitely the fast droplets eroded more of the Skittles than the slow droplets. So our conclusion is that the fast droplets eroded more of the Skittle. And when I'm thinking about why, I always like to think about why might it have done that. And it makes me think that maybe it's because there was more water. If we look at the two Skittles, there's definitely more water that was involved. So the fast droplets, there was more water used during the fast erosion. So if I were to do this again, maybe I would, for the slow droplets, maybe I would make sure I used as many drops as the fast. Only 4 drops were used at 15, 30, 45, and 60. So there's only 4 droplets used per minute here. This one was every 5 seconds. So that would have been 12 droplets used every minute there. So if I were to do it again, maybe I'd change it up and do that and see if it would still wear away more of it. And yeah, so water wears away the surface of the earth in lots of different ways. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes with flash floods or tsunamis or like hurricanes. That is very fast acting things with a lot of water that can change the surface of the earth very quickly. This slow process is more like rivers and streams that are slowly eroding rocks. And so both things change the surface of the earth.